Hi, it's Maya here with a Friday Reads video. So in this video I'm going to be telling you what I'm currently reading and also do a bit of a library haul. So first I'm going to talk about the books that I'm in the middle of, and the first of those is Uprooted by Naomi Novik, which I have owned since it came out, and I'm now reading it for the BookTube SFF Awards. I'm about halfway through, a little less than halfway through. So this story tells of Agnieszka, who lives in a small village in a valley that is ruled over by the wizard who is called the dragon. And the dragon picks a girl every 10 years to go and live with him. And Agnieszka is sure that her friend is going to be picked, but what will happen? Anyway, what I like about this book is that it takes place in this world that has a lot of Slavic influences. I think Novik's parents are from Poland. I really like that fairy tale-ish Slavic atmosphere and world that Novik has created. I also find it quite entertaining that Novik has based her magical language on the Finno-Ugric languages, so she has taken from Finnish, Hungarian and a little bit of Estonian to create those. So there are points when I recognize words in the middle of spells, which I find quite fun. It makes me feel a bit magical. I'm not quite as into this book as I hoped I would be. I don't know what's holding me back. I don't feel connected to the plot or not really even to the characters, but I really like the world and the fairy tale-ish aspects of this. And the other book that I'm reading on my Kindle is actually quite similar to this. It's T. Kingfisher's The Raven and the Reindeer. So that is Ursula Vernon's pen name for fairy tale writing, and this is a story that is her take on the Snow Queen. And I'm about 60% of my way through, and I'm really liking this. It's a bit weird to read these two at the same time. I'm trying to not read them on the same day so that I won't get mixed up. I usually don't get mixed up, but because the themes are very similar. This also takes place in the north, so there are also some Finnish things mentioned in this, as well as some Nordic things in general. There are mentions of Odin and Thor, but also of Ukko, which is a Finnish god. And there's also a mention of the Tonttu, which made me smile. That is sort of these house spirits, these brownies, and it's the Finnish name for them. They are known in Scandinavian countries as well, but the Tonttu word is a Finnish word. So a bit of a connection between these two books. I'm really liking this one so far. I enjoy Ursula Vernon in general. So I've also seen as a kid, and I just watched it last year again, the Finnish movie of the Snow Queen. I think it was done in the 80s. So it's fun to see how Vernon has tackled some scenes in the story and compare them to the Finnish movie version. So those are what I'm currently reading, and then I also picked up a huge stack from the library, and I also bought one comics trade. The one that I bought is Gotham Academy Volume 2 Calamity, and this is by Becky Cloonan and other people. And I really like the first volume, so I'm really excited to get to this, even though I think I will have to browse through the first volume to sort of refresh my memory as to what happened. But now onto the library books. Since I started with the comic, I'm gonna show you the comics that I picked up first. First I picked up the 2 volumes of True. These are volumes 9 and 10, and these are by John Layman and Rob Guillory. And it's been 1 year since I read 8, so I hope I can get to this easily. It's taken a lot of time for my library to get number 9 for some reason, but they finally did, so now I have 2 to read. And this, of course, tells of the federal agent with the ability to get psychic impressions from what he eats. There's also a longer story arc going on, and that I think is what these 2 will more heavily focus on, at least I hope. Next thing that I picked up for fun from the library are a few volumes of One Piece. I actually picked up 5, but I already read and returned one of them. So these are volumes 69 to 72. And One Piece is something that I like to read every now and then. I actually don't mark them anywhere. I mean, I don't mark them on Goodreads, because when I started putting all my owned books on Goodreads, I couldn't find it in me to add the 59 volumes of One Piece that I owned. I've since sold them to a used bookstore because I didn't think that I would reread them anymore. So I'm currently reading them from the library, and since I haven't marked them in Goodreads previously, I'm not going to start with these. But I find One Piece to be a lot of fun. I like pirates, and I like this sort of humor that is in these books, even though the endless battles can sometimes get tiring. But it's not too bad if you only read a few of them every now and then. Then I also picked up a few books. The first is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, and I'm really looking forward to reading this because I really like Jemisin, and also this is on the shortlist for the BookTube SFF Awards, so I really need to read this after I finish Uprooted. So I have some sort of idea what the best novel nominees are like on that list. Next I have The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black, which is one of her fairy books. It's sort of a loose series. I've read all the other ones, and I'm really looking forward to this because I do enjoy Holly Black's writing, and I especially enjoy these fairy books of hers. So that's a young adult book. And finally I have Under the Skin by Michelle Faber. I picked this one up because I've been interested in watching the movie with Scarlett Johansson, and Libby from Libby Stevenson, you can find her channel link in the below and in the corner there, said on her channel when she did the Overlooked Science Fiction Bubble that the movie doesn't really make sense if you haven't read the book. So when I saw this book just sitting in the library shelf, I picked it up. So this is a science fiction book. I sort of don't really know what it's about. It sounds quite weird, at least what I heard from the movie. It sounds quite weird. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. So that is what I'm currently reading. I'm going to continue reading Uprooted over the weekend and hopefully finish it. What are you reading this weekend? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you later.